Blackburn Rovers were busy over the weekend bringing in a new player to fill in the monstrous gap at the back of the defence. Of course, who is it? I'll tell you all about it next. That's right, folks, Bob's getting another transfer update video over at Ewood Park, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, what do you mean? Where have you been? Smash your subscribe button back and say all things Rovers related, Championship related, World Cup related later this year. That's right, of course. Dominic Hyam signs to the dotted line and becomes the latest member of course, John Dole Thomason's Blue-White Army. What's he all about? We'll tell you all about that in a second. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. You know who you are, of course. And a big shout out to you guys. If you can keep on voting, vote. Best in video, best content creator, best club content creator. Vote. 100% free, guys. This is freeness. And when I talk about this, guys, you can do this. Go over here, cut the /vote Roverseas. And again, if you voted elsewhere for somebody else, I get that. I get that. You might have done it somewhere else. And we're not here to win it. We are here to just get our name out there. This year is just to set the benchmark for next year. That's right. You guys can do this. Vote. 100% free. And if you voted, again, like I said, for someone else, why don't you open up a different kind of browser? Let's say you voted for somebody on Chrome. Open up Firefox, Edge, Safari, whatever it is. New browser. Get our name in there. Maybe I get our name in there twice. You know what it is. Come on, guys. Anyway, crew, let's get into this. I'm trying to clean this up a little bit. Where the heck am I? I can't get off now. There we go. Okay, and we'll get rid of that as well. There we go. Let's keep the text going on there. We'll keep the text going on. There we go. So here I am. Of course, this is the fella. This is him. Bloody hell, look how good looking he is. Of course, he's shining the dotted line. Big old talisman at the back. Now, of course, he has been labelled as the replacement for Darragh Lenihan. That's right. So we are going to take a long, hard look at this chap and see what we're all about. So let's get into it, of course, and compare the two, of course. So it's signed on the dotted line. Now, I do apologise. The pricing is in American dollars, so that's the way, nature of the beast. But what do we have? What do we have here? We have Dominic Hyam, of course, coming in here from Coventry, who does play at centre-back. Now, of course, Darragh Lenihan, by trade, was a defensive midfielder, and, of course, adopted that centre-back position. Now, we do get a younger player, 2 years younger, which fits the model, of course. He's prime time footballing age for us. He adds a bit more experience, 2 or 3 years more experience. And guess what? He's worked his way up through the football ladder. He has, of course, Scottish nationality, which I like that about him a lot. And he can play either side of the central defensive slots. So the only negative or the only disadvantage he has to Darragh Lenihan is the lack of defensive midfield. So, but we don't really care about that, do we? He is actually a centimetre taller than Lenihan, and those centimetres count. That's right. That's what she said. The taller they are, the bigger they are, the better. So especially when, of course, trying to get the ball in the box, we need a commanding presence at the back. He does have a trophy. I think he picked that up from Coventry when they got promoted from either League 2 or League 1. But of course, he has got success on his name. Let's move on forward. Let's take a little longer at the values. Of course, Darragh Lenihan's value, of course, has now, he's actually a Middlesbrough player, is between £3 and £4 million according to Transfermarkt. As for our new fella, Dominic Hyam, of course, was a peanut signing of a release from Reading. We'll have a look at his history in a second, but he didn't really burst onto the scene until around about 2021, and of course he started to get recognition over in the Championship. His value as of recording is around about 1.5 to £2 million. But if you ask the Coventry City fans, were expecting $5 million for this guy. We paid, I believe, around about 1.5 million, and of course it could go up to 2.5, maybe 3 million. A strategic bit of business for Rovers, laying down an initial sum with, of course, ladled with add-ons. So how many appearances? Maybe if he gets over 50 appearances or 100 appearances, then of course we'll and we've got to do it these days. That's of course the nature of the financial fair play. You've got to kind of keep your spending low, and then spreading the costs will get you the place. So probably all in all, probably will be over £3.5 million. Of course, let's take a look at their histories. Then, of course, we've got Lenihan on the left-hand side, and Hyam on the right. Of course, this is a sour note here. Of course, Lenihan was through our academy, and it does hurt seeing the guys leave, but he was pretty much with us pretty much all his career, 10 years, and he did have a little loan at Burton, a fantastic loan where he did pick up a trophy as champions for Burton Albion in League 2, but basically he was ever present from the return of that loan and onwards. As for our new fella, he was on Reading's books. He had a loan at Dagenham, went back to Reading, of course. Pompey was there for a little loan, back at Reading. Aldershot, Reading, now Coventry, and again, he's been Coventry ever since. Peanut signing for them. They saw something in him way back when, and he has been a rock at their back. And again, when I show you in a minute, I'm going to show you the Twitter comments, and the majority of them are from Coventry City fans. They are dejected, they are heartbroken, and it's sad. And I remember that when we bought Bradley Dack from Gillingham, a lot of their fans were heartbroken. Some people can relate when a bigger club comes in, and I get Coventry's standpoint, thinking that we are pretty much a similar sort of club. You know, it's a sideways step sort of deal, but maybe not. I don't know. It depends how you look at it. Let's take a look at these two guys then, side by side, of course. So on the left hand side we do have Darrell Lennon, on the right hand side we do have Dominic Hyam. So actually, according to this, he can play left back and right back, and down the middle as well. His strengths are ground duels, weaknesses no outstanding weaknesses, which is phenomenal. I didn't write that myself, that was in there. So of course, Darrell Lennon, strengths ground duels, positioning aerial duels as well. His weaknesses is discipline, according to this anyway. Valued about 2.4 million euros compared to 1.1 million euros for Dominic Hyam. Again, the stats don't put too bear in mind this just right now because it's hard to see. I'm going to compare them in just a second here, but as you can see, again, youngster, 26 years of age, and of course a couple of centimeters, a couple of inches bigger. But these are the comparisons, the stats compared. Yes, Darrell Lennon does have the vast majority of these greater than Dominic Hyam. The only one he doesn't have is, I believe, technique. So technique is favoured for Dominic Hyam. He's 2 years younger though, so 2 years less experience. But I'm hoping that if we were to turn back, if we got hop in a time machine, a TARDIS, the DeLorean, go back in time when Darrell Lennon was 26 years of age, what would his stats be compared to Dominic Hyam's stats of today? So that's what I'm looking at. For me, I think I'm just happy to have a solid member at the back. Ayala's fantastic. Stick this guy alongside him, and I think that should be okay. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. I think actually Ayala and this fella here are too similar. I think it'll be Scotty Wharton and this guy in a back four for the future. Perhaps it'll be Scotty Wharton on the left hand side, Ayala, and then this fella on the right hand side. So it's going to be interesting how it all pans out after the end of the window. Now these two, of course, side by side. This is the stats from last season. Again, Lennon on the left, Hyam on the right. Of course, Coventry had a decent season last season, and they were in the mixer for a long time as well. Yes, Lennon got a goal more than Hyam assist as well. For the vast majority of it, he actually exceeds him. Of course, got more yellows and a red. Hyam just keeping himself a little bit more conservative. Got a better pass success rate though, as Dominic Hyam, 79.2 compared to 65.8 for Lennon at the back. Aerial duels won again. Everything seems to be in favour. And again, Lennon was one of the players of the season overall in who scored. He was up there, and that's where it hurts the most. So it's a monstrous void to fill, but I think we filled it nicely. Not like for like, but very much close to the money. I think you can get pretty much as close to the bone as you can. Moving forward, of course, these are the stats overall over the last few seasons. Of course, their whole careers. Lennon again on the left hand side, Hyam on the right. 5,000 more minutes has Lennon played than, of course, Dominic Hyam. He's actually played just 60 or so games more than 60 or 59, whatever it is, all in all. But as you see, he's got everything. He's got all the games. Look, he's played in the Youth Cup, League 2 playoffs, playoff experience for him, I think success as well. National League, EFL Cup, EFL Trophy, FA Cup, Premier League 2 as well. League 2, League 1, he's gone up and done it all. As for Darrell Lennon, he's actually not, he's done a vast majority of it as well, so you've got to give him some credit for there. Yeah, it's bizarre how similar these two players are as well. He comes with a captain's armband as well from Coventry, which is a major loss. Have they played up against each other? Yes, they played each other up against each other 4 times actually. And Darrell Lennon was on the winning side once. Dominic Hyam was on the winning side once as well, but in the Premier League 2, so that doesn't really count. But all in all, they played each other 3 times, against each other 3 times in the Championship. Lennon picking up the victory and a couple of draws as well. So yes, here he is, of course, with a smile on his face. It does exist. It does bloody exist. A picture with him with a smile on his face. But anyway, that's enough about his stats, his history. What about the fans? What about the Roverseas mafioso? Of course, I dropped a clanger with them last night. And here is, of course, a couple of reactions from the signing for Blackburn Rovers.
So, it's a done deal. We've finally got a centre-back through the doors. All those years ago when Mowbray said defenders will come in, it's finally happened. Haven't signed a centre-back for a very long while, on a permanent basis, that is. So I'm made up. It seems an absolute steal. Coventry fans are absolutely fuming with this signing, and we've been there before as Rovers fans, so I empathise with them. Obviously when we had our embargo, some 7-8 years ago now, we had to sell the likes of Rhodes or whatever to stay afloat and not get ourselves into even more trouble and get out of that situation. And obviously it seems from Coventry's on the pitch problems at the minute, literally on the pitch, that this signing has been done to probably cover those fees and will be spent straight away on the pitch. It seems like, from all accounts, he's a player that's at least worth double, triple what we've paid. The fee being touted around is 1.5 million. Even saw someone who put on a Coventry Facebook page and said he was worth 15 million, which, I highly doubt that, obviously. But, when Coventry fans are coming out and saying this about a player leaving their club, it can only be good news for us. It seems a bit of shrewd business from Greg Broughton, and it's about bloody time, but seems a really good bit of business, so fair play to him. By all accounts from their fans, he's definitely their best defender. From something I seen on a Facebook group, a Rovers one, it was comparing Hyam's stats last season to Lenihan's. He seems someone who's going to pass more forwards than Lenihan is. I think he had like double his numbers. Lenihan did pump the ball forward quite a lot, to be honest. So that looks good. More progressive runs, and just all in all a more forward-thinking centre-back, which should complement Ayala or Wharton quite nicely, who are both quite old-school centre-backs in that regard. Neither of them can really find that pass, or neither of them really get down the pitch, other than, obviously Ayala the other week against West Brom, went for a little run down left wing, didn't he? But no, I think it should be a nice little partnership. You would think the first team choices, once Wharton is back, would be Wharton and Hyam, obviously with Ayala's injury record, but Ayala's been undroppable, to be honest. So I think, he's going to have to earn his spot back, to be honest, Wharton, and probably just wait for Ayala to get injured, to be honest with you. You can't drop Ayala right now. Been a 7-8 out of 10 in pretty much every game this season, other than Sheffield United, probably, where I don't think anyone was a 7 out of 10 that day. But no, brilliant bit of business. Really happy with it. Finally got a defender in. We need one more. I'd like one more. Although, obviously Barnes is out for the season. So currently we've got Ayala, Wharton, Carter, Phillips, and now Hyam. That's 5 options. Ayala is a player who's going to get injured at some point, you would think. So that leaves you with 4 options. So we probably could play the season with what we've got right now. So if we weren't to get another, I don't think it would be the end of the world. I don't think we necessarily need another, unless JDT is planning on moving to a back three. But we definitely need a goal scorer. I think that is the main thing now. I think another striker or an inside forward like Diaz has to be the priority now. Diaz is probably going to leave next week. This week when this gets released, no doubt. And, those goals need replacing desperately. No goals in the past 3 games. And we can't carry on like this. Travis has scored 2 of our, very few goals. It's 6 goals in 6 games, and when 2 of those are coming from Travis, someone who never scores, That doesn't make good reading, to be honest, because we'll probably be lucky to get another 2 goals out of Travis for the rest of the season, to be honest with you. So, yeah, definitely need a goal scorer. If Diaz leaves, I'd love a Diaz replacement like a baller and a goal scorer up front. I don't think, our striking options being Gallagher and Vale are enough. I think we definitely need someone to be challenging Gallagher, and then you have Gallagher or this new person coming in interchangeable. I don't think Vale should be our option off the bench. I don't think he's ready to be that. And yeah, I mean, I'd love a holding midfielder as well, but I can't see that happening. But from what I saw from Jake Garrett the other week at Bradford, I think I was really impressed with him. So as a potential shoe-in for Travis, if he was to get injured, I wouldn't mind that too much at all. So, I saw on Twitter, apparently the sticker book's gone down from 5 spaces left to 3 spaces now. So there should be 2 more signings incoming. Hyam filled up one of those 3 spaces, so 2 more. So I'm hoping in my ideal scenario, I honestly think I'd rather have a striker and a winger come in who can replace Diaz than another centre-back, to be honest. I think the numbers we've got now are good enough, to be honest. I think we'd be really unlucky to, lose another one for the rest of the season. But like I said, with Ayala, it's quite possible. If Ayala was to get injured, you're only then left with 4, aren't you? But I think Carter and Phillips have shown they're capable enough to be backups at this level. So I'd rather go with a winger and a striker for those last 2 spots. Roll the dice a little bit. I think we need those goals, and just hope we don't have any bad injuries at the back. But yeah, I guess only time will tell. Hopefully we can get the business done before Blackpool, and if not, we'll obviously have the business done before Bristol on the weekend, which, I'm not anticipating great things at Blackpool. I'm, hoping we can get a draw after these really bad 3 results, and obviously we lost there last season. I don't think we ever win at Blackpool, to be honest, other than the League One campaign when we played them. I honestly can't remember another time us beating Blackpool away. So hopefully we can do the business there, and hopefully then move on to Saturday, and it needs to be a win at home against Bristol. Another side who won at Ewood last season. This run of fixtures has just been barren in terms of, how we did last season against this opposition. So yeah, let's get through these tough games. Let's get some new bodies in the door, and let's hope to see Hyam on Wednesday against Blackpool.
So Dominic Hyam signs for Rovers from Coventry City for 1.5 million, which could go up to 2.5 million apparently. And he seems like a good, solid Championship defender. He's got a couple of years' experience in the Championship. He's been through the leagues. He's done it the hard way. And he brings experience. He's 26, but he's got a couple of seasons of Championship experience, and he's proved himself in those seasons, and he's been a very good player for Coventry City. Will he be a good player for Rovers? I think he will be. I think he'll complement the players that we have, because he's a ball-playing defender. He likes to, he likes to defend and be solid, and he is, but he also likes to play it forward and build from the back, build the attack, start the attacks off. So I think that's really good. That's promising. He can pass the ball, and that's really good, because we need that kind of player that can build from the back, to complement the defenders that we already have, who are a bit more, let's say they're a bit more defensively focused. But it sounds like Hyam has got the defensive focus, and as well as ball playing ability to play the ball forward and build from the back and start attacks off. So really happy about this signing. It sounds like a steal for what we've paid, and he's a player that we need. I think he's the perfect age. Dara Lenihan was his kind of age, and it's really important to have a player with championship experience in defence, because we've only really got Ayala in central defence who's got that championship experience. So really good signing, I think. Really happy about it. Good stuff. Let's get Van Heck in as well.
Meanwhile, what's been said on social media? Let's have a little look then, shall we? Of course, Jake Turner said, good signing. He put a couple of thumbs up. Poet Laurie said, I am delighted indeed. Lewis Thoreau said, got yourself a top player and bloke. Firm fans' favourite Coventry, look after him. Meanwhile, Connor Scott said, you've got a solid centre-back there. It's a huge loss for us. He's our best defender and has got better each season he has been with us. Ben Wise says, forget about him as a player. The man is a top bloke. All the best, Dom. Ellis Ashby said, got yourself a class defender to help the team move up the league. Thank you, Dom. Josh Thomas said, I am the one and only. Steve from somewhere said, great player. Guts to have lost him. Solid player and a fan's favourite. It is really, if it really was 1.5, it's a disgrace as he was brilliant for us. But then, of course, he did want to play for us. Doesn't exactly look delighted to be there in the picture. Maybe he comes back on a free. I don't know what that's all about. Joseph said, welcome to Rovers, Dominic. Look forward to seeing you in the blue and white. And Steve Beaumont says, well done. The recruitment team here. This guy is quality Lennon's replacement. I do actually feel a little bit bad for Coventry here, though. Don't think he was meant to be for sale. And if we have only paid 1.5 million, I think that's a steal. Coventry deserved more. But great defender for us, of course. And what about me then? What about my take on it? I'm just elated to get another body in the door. Of course, I'm not here just to applaud any signings. I do understand his quality. And again, there was rumours of Stephen Corker to come to Blackburn Rovers. And again, I saw some positives to that potential move, but the fact that he was left-footed would give us a bit more cover at the back. But for me, just getting a solid centre-back in to play in a back three, in a back two, whatever John Dodd Thomason is thinking about, I am relieved at that. We do now. Let's have a little look at the names that we have at centre back. We have Ayala, we have Wharton, we have this fella Hyam, we have of course Carter, we have young Ashley Phillips, who again another scenario which I need to see get resolved over the next week or so, or preferably this past week, is get that contract signed and secure the deal of one of the hottest talents in the division. So those are the 5 centre backs. Did I say that right? Ayala, Hyam, Wharton, Carter, and of course Phillips. That's 5. 5, of course. Again, you can play 2 different 2s, and of course you can play a 3 and then a 2, and mix it up a little bit if we're going to alternate a little bit. So, and of course Vandenberg, or there is an extra spot left. I think a 6th centre back is the plan. It could be Vandenberg, Van Heck. Or it could be somebody else. So that, I believe, is the plan. But, of course, there are other scenarios that we do need to get resolved at Rovers. And it is going to be a very, very interesting week. But for me, I'm just happy. And from the reaction of the Coventry City fans, that tells you all. Of course, when you sign a player from another team, especially one that doesn't really want to, or a similar size team, or a team in a similar division, you judge the reaction from their fans. When we lost Lenihan, it was a monstrous loss. When Nyambe left, it was a monstrous loss. When Joe Rothwell left, it was a miserable kind of, it was a sour loss. We don't really talk about that. But, Coventry fans, for the vast majority, like 75-80%, seem absolutely gutted about this. So I think we are onto winner. The age is good, the height is good, the experience is top notch. So for me, for the championship, this is a stellar signing, and I'm over the moon with it, especially at 1.5 million and a chunk of change. Anyway, guys, that is it. But of course, don't forget to vote. Best course content creator. You know what to do. Do us a favour, and of course, vote. vote, vote. And of course, here is the link if you want to look at it. cut.ly/vote Roverseas. Best in video for a football organisation. Best content creator as a whole. Best content creator in a football league. Vote, vote, vote. Vote, 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 vote. Anyway, that's it, guys. I do appreciate the love. And of course, this week it is Blackpool. Of course, the build-up for that. Will Hyam be involved? Hyam, I am the answer, he says. Hyam, the one and only. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. But until then, guys and girls, we are done right now.